So if you've been on the internet this past week, I'd say, or a little longer than a week, but if you've been on it, you've seen this video. But if you haven't seen it, I'll give you a little context. So apparently this woman was on a flight flying from Dallas to, who knows, and she claimed the person sitting next to her was like a reptilian or like some shapeshifter. And yeah, I don't know what she saw, so I can't really judge it, and I don't not believe in it. I don't, doubt the existence, at least. Yeah, but all over TikTok, people were talking about it day in, day out, and it was getting memed, and everyone was calling her bad, and this and that. And she just no one's ever heard of her since. So some people are saying this whole thing is just a conspiracy theory, and like she's part of it, because it is kind of strange how like no one's heard of her since. But yeah, that's a whole nother video. So the reason we're here today is because the apparent shapeshifter has made his own video talking about it weeks later, which he said it's because the flight was delayed, but we'll get into it. Okay, lights, camera, action, roll it.
That mother back there is not real.
Alright, so the internet has heard the story of the woman on the plane with the reptilians. But thanks to her delaying the flight, I just got home, so now it's my opportunity to tell my side of the story as the guy in the hoodie.
Yeah, already this dude looks pretty sketchy, like a face full of tats. He's wearing the same hoodie that he was wearing, which has Masonic imagery on it, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, trust me, if I was sitting on a plane next to this dude and I had to sit there for what, a few hours at least, I'm not sitting there. Because the way she's reacting, it actually seems like she saw something that isn't normal.
So we're attempting to fly out of Dallas, Fort Worth, and then basically this woman, she sits next to me and she's clearly been drinking. I'm minding my own business, and sure enough, she sees my hoodie that has this Freemason logo on it. And on top of that, she noticed my ring, so she started to ask questions.
Now, if you don't know what Freemasonry is, I suggest you do your research and look into it. But I mean, most people don't care. They don't give a fuck. But it has to do with conspiracy theories and higher ups and elitists and people controlling the world with all these like little subliminal like. It's weird. So I don't know why he's wearing that. It kind of does give the impression that he is something more than what he's presenting. It's just like, why would you even boast about wearing Masonic? Okay, continue. Let him continue. Let him finish his story, and then yeah, we'll talk about it.
Nothing dramatic. Just ask me, do I know what these symbols mean? Why am I wearing it? What's the purpose? Yada yada yada. And long story short, I basically just say, hey, I'm a Freemason. I even briefly explained how I educate about Freemasonry here on TikTok. Next thing I know, she basically starts to grill me about low-level Freemason and that it's all Satanism and that it's ruled by reptilians and blah blah blah. So I simply put my hood up and I started to ignore her and basically just mind my own business. She starts getting louder and louder, and then basically she's like, you know that they worship Lucifer at the top, right? So I looked at her dead in her eyes and I said, I am Lucifer.
Now, if somebody said this to me, I would react the same way. I would think they're crazy. Like, what are you talking about? I probably wouldn't cause a whole scene in front of everybody, but I definitely wouldn't want to stay in his presence and, like, be next to him for 12 hours on a flight. Like,
I heard one individual laugh behind me, so I figured somebody got a kick out of it at least. She starts running up and down the aisles, freaking out, saying I'm a reptilian, and then all this other stuff, she's going to get off the plane, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't show all the footage, it just says that she's trying to get off the plane because of, I'm not going to say it here on TikTok, I don't want to get banned, but then also talking about how, like, I'm secretly also trying to take over the world. So I looked back at the guy that was basically chuckling before, and I winked at him. So I basically whispered something.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, that adds up, because there was a video where some guy recorded it, and the dude turned around and winked, and the dude was like, yeah, he winked at me and this and that. Basically, his story is adding up with the other dude's story, but who knows, maybe he saw it, and maybe this is all one big conspiracy theory. But I don't know, it seems like he's telling the truth, but it's still just strange.
Under my breath saying that Freemasons don't care to rule the world, we rule the universe. And I looked back at the guy that was laughing before and just kind of winked at him because he started laughing again. Well, I didn't think that she could hear me, but evidently she did, and it actually escalated it even further, and then they delayed the flight, and so on and so forth. So moral of the story, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. And Freemasons don't care to rule the world when we rule the universe.
See, okay, I feel like, okay, let's break it down. So part of me wants to believe he's telling the truth, but embellishing it. Like, I feel like he's leaving some details out, but he's also pretty thorough. And who knows, maybe he is a shapeshifter or like a reptilian, because like who goes around talking about they rule the universe? Like, I mean, Freemasonry and this and that, but regardless, like, you don't just go up to somebody and say, hey, I'm Satan. I don't know, the whole situation is kind of strange. It's kind of strange how they went about it. It's kind of strange how she still hasn't said anything. Yeah, GG in the chat for her